Hey guys, so today I have for you another postpartum meal prep video. These are all 3 meals that you can make while you are still pregnant, throw them in the freezer, and then have them once baby arrives and things get a little more hectic. So let's start off with Puerto Rican beans and potatoes. This is not my recipe. I will leave a link down below to it though if you guys are interested, as well as any of the other recipe information for all 3 of these. So I start off by chopping up a few potatoes. I just so happen to have red potatoes on hand, but I also really like yellow potatoes for this. And I do use pinto beans in my recipe. I believe it calls for a different type of bean in the recipe that you will find the link to though. I also chop up some onions and peppers, and I make sure to make those in really big chunks because my husband does not like either of those and he will pick them out, and it's easier for him to pick them out if they are in massive chunks. So I just fry that up in a little bit of oil, add some garlic in there as well. The seasonings, tomato sauce, some water that I will then add some vegetable broth paste to later on. The potatoes and the beans and a little bit of red wine vinegar, and just throw that all together, turn it up until it starts to boil, then cover it and set it down to a simmer for maybe 25 minutes or so. And I love to serve mine with some avocado as well as rice, but this particular day I just so happened to have a farro quinoa blend in the fridge already, so that's the grain that I chose to serve it with, but I love it with rice as well. And in case you don't know, like, grains and stuff freeze really good, so you can always make up a big batch of like farro and quinoa and freeze it, and then just take it out when you're ready, maybe the night before you want to use it for dinner. And I will leave information below for all of these about how to thaw them and how long to cook them back up again once you take them out of the freezer. Alright, the next recipe is a super easy baked pasta recipe. So I'm just boiling up some whole wheat macaroni noodles first of all. Then I'm soaking some lentils while those noodles are boiling, and then once the noodles are done and I strain them and throw them into a little bowl, I will use the same pot again to cook the lentils in, so that makes it less messy, you know, you're not cleaning as many dishes. And I do like to make this meal like earlier in the day and then just put it in the oven once my husband comes home, so I might make it around like lunchtime and then just put it in the fridge until it's almost dinner time and throw it into the oven. So it's not like I'm like on a time constraint trying to get the noodles and the lentils done at the same time or anything. So anyway, I will add in about half of a jar of just any kind of canned pasta sauce along with the lentils, and I do add in like a tablespoon or so of nutritional yeast for a cheesy flavor in there, and just mix it all up and throw it into a greased like lasagna type pan. And you can always throw some cheese on top if that's something that you like. And I like to serve it with some garlic bread as well, just homemade bread with some vegan butter and garlic powder on there. And that's pretty much it for that meal. So it's super duper simple, very easy. Of course you don't necessarily need to bake it, but I like the texture that baking it makes. It kind of makes the noodles on top like a little bit crispy. I just kind of like the variety in there as opposed to regular old pasta. And having it like a baked pasta makes it a little bit easier for throwing in the oven once dinner time comes around and not having to like cook everything all at 5:30, you know? And lastly, I have a super yummy vegan lasagna. So first of all, I start preparing the noodles by throwing them into a pot of water, and then I get to work on the vegan ricotta cheese filling stuff. So that's a recipe that I will leave linked down below. It's from Cheap Lazy Vegan here on YouTube, and I just use her ricotta part of her recipe. I don't make everything from scratch, but the ricotta part I do. So it's mostly tofu with some seasonings and stuff in there. Then I do make up some Match Hungry Planet ground beef substitute, which is a vegan meat kind of deal, and I just throw that into a pan and start grilling that up, or frying that up, I guess. And once the noodles are done, I can start layering everything up. So I just throw in some jarred pasta sauce, then the noodles, then my cheesy layer, add in some more sauce along with the vegan meat, and then the noodles again and the cheese again, and just over and over until you run out of noodles. I actually didn't have as many noodles as I wish I had for this particular recipe, so it did end up being less noodly. I would have made it 3 noodles deep instead of only 2, but I was running low on lasagna noodles this day. So once again, it's something that I can just make around lunchtime and then throw in the fridge and then pop it into the oven once it's actually closer to dinner time. And once again, I'm just serving it with some cheesy garlic bread on the side, homemade bread with some vegan butter and cheese and garlic powder on there. And it's super delicious. This vegan lasagna is one of my very favorite vegan recipes. It's something that I didn't think I could ever make good vegan before I went vegan, but once trying out the ricotta, especially from Cheap Lazy Vegan, like that really makes a big difference, and it's super delicious. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let me know if you like these food related videos, and I can totally put out some more for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.